Hi, I'm Anna Maria Cannatella, and welcome to Unique Homes, the show that takes you on an insider's tour on some of the most interesting homes in Franklin County, Florida. Today we're touring the Coombs House Inn, which now consists of 3 properties along Avenue E in the Historic District in Apalachicola. The main house is located at 86th Street and was built in 1905 by James and Maria Coombs. Back then, it was generally known as the most elegant home in Apalachicola, and today we may agree due to the foresight and tenacious will of Lynn Spohrer. Lynn is an internationally recognized designer and the genius behind the renovation and business of the Coombs House Inn.
Anna Maria, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm looking forward to this tour of the Coombs House Inn, so come on in.
Lynn, what brought you to Apalachicola to save this treasure?
That's a very interesting story, actually. If you believe in destiny, I believe that it was my destiny to come and save the Coombs House Inn. And it's kind of interesting. I was running through some dates and numbers, and Mr. Coombs was born in 1942, and 100 years later I was born. And Mr. Coombs came from upstate Maine, New England, in 1877. And I came to Apalachicola 100 years later, and I came from New York area, upstate New England area. And then, of course, I have a master's degree in art history. I'm an architect and an interior designer, so I was really intrigued in saving this beautiful home. And there are some before pictures that are absolutely shocking. I mean, there was a lot of rubbish in the yard, toilets, bathtubs, everything had been rotted away. The home had been neglected for many, many years and unlived in. And the city was contemplating tearing it down. They thought at one time to put a library here, but none of those options worked out. And fortunately, I was able to find the Coombs family, and it took me 2 years to convince them that I would really want to save it. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't think of an inn. I wasn't sure what I would do with it. I just really wanted to save it. And since this home was on Avenue E 98, every person that passed through Apalachicola thought that the town really was not as wonderful as it is, because a lot of people never entered the historic district to see what beautiful gems of architecture were here. So I think it was very important that the Coombs House was restored, and I think it started a lot of other people interested in doing the same thing.
Lynn, tell us about some of the features of the house.
Well, we're in the reception lobby, so let's talk about the beautiful woodwork here, which Mr. Coombs was a lumber baron, and this is how he made his living. He chose the best wood to be used in his home. So we have black walnut and heart pine. In fact, the house is solid wood. Walls, ceiling, floors, everything is wood. There is no steel, there's no drywall, there's no concrete. We have one of 15 fireplaces right here. Every single fireplace in the house is different. So they spend a lot of time shopping in areas in New England and in Europe for very special things. Mm-hmm. The staircase is quite interesting. Mm-hmm. All the hand carving, the turned spindles, the rather beautiful lines of the stairwell and the raised paneling. And of course, all the artwork and the antiques that are in the home, I collected over years. Many of them are from my personal collection, and old maps, 100, 200, 300-year-old maps, and a lot of oil paintings. And the antiques I collected over 2 years. It took 2 years to restore the house, so I had time to shop for things and warehouse them. And I remember, finally, I had bought so many things I couldn't really remember what I had. So I had to just have the trucks come and unload things, and then I would say, Well, let's see. Let's put this here. Let's try that over there. Oh, no, that's too big. Let's move it over here.
Yeah.
And more or less that's the way it went. But I couldn't resist many things, so
Yeah.
I kind of overthought. So.
What a creative experience.
Yeah,
though.
so come on
That's
into
great.
the dining room. This is the Coombs original dining room, and we preserved all the wood. And, of course, our guests have complimentary gourmet breakfast here, which is served on this beautiful antique hutch. And then in the afternoon, we have cookies and high tea and coffee. And we have in the evenings wine and cheese, all of which is complimentary. So, along with bicycles, beach towels, beach umbrellas, beach chairs, and lots of good reading. So this is a very interesting painting. It is a picture of the Coombs house before it was restored, but after it was purchased. So during the course of restoration. So you see the back porch is not constructed. The windows still have plywood on them, but most of the debris is cleaned up, and we're preparing to paint the yellow coat of paint on, and of course go inside and paint it. But if you look carefully, you'll see a figure in the second floor. Actually, it is the room just behind where this painting is, and we attribute this to be the ghost of Mrs. Coombs. So this is the original bedroom of Mr. and Mrs. Coombs. And I'd like to say that this is their original bed, although I have to be honest, this is a beautiful antique bed that I bought. So, well, there are stories about Mr. Coombs who passes the night and kisses or touches the cheek of lovely ladies who stay here. So he's a very benevolent ghost. We're very happy to have him. This is one of the 4 suites in the Heart Pine Cottage. Now, the Heart Pine Cottage was also built by Mr. Coombs shortly after 1904, when he built the main Coombs house. And he built this house for his mother and his sister. And so each one of them had an apartment. So this was one apartment. It now is 2, and the other side was another apartment. But the 2 ladies could be close to each other, close to Mr. Coombs, but still have their own residence. And this is one of the 17 fireplaces that we have. Our ceilings are 14 feet tall. And all of this is original heart pine. And molding and floor is original. And of course, the furniture's not original. It's kind of a fun 4-poster bed.
Yeah, a little more modern
canopy.
feel, and the colors, and more
Definitely.
Seaside, a little bit more
Yeah.
seaside feeling.
I thought it would be fun to
Yeah.
do that. So the main house is very traditional, and this one is a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we have 7 jacuzzi suites, and this one we named Heaven 11. The room number is 11. And this is in the villas, one of 3 of the Coombs mansions. You know, we have 27 rooms, and in fact, I put in 25 bathrooms. There was only 1 bathroom in each of the original houses. So this 4-poster bed is all hand-carved. It comes from Europe, and again, one of the many, many antiques that I collected during my quest for beautiful things for the Coombs Inn. I want to show you this bathroom. And here's was an opportunity. This was the front porch. And it was screened in at one time, and then later on it was all jealousy windows. And so here was another creative opportunity to create a luxurious bathroom. And here's our one of 7 jacuzzi suites. And the brides love this because it's pretty sexy. You know, in saving the Coombs house, preserving it, restoring it, I feel I've done something special for the Coombs family. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Coombs tragically died as a result of a fire in the mansion, which occurred only 7 years after they finished the house. And it was their dream home, as many homes are, where all your life's work and money and hopes and dreams are in the home. And there was a fire in the kitchen, and it was a volunteer fire department, which tried their best to do a great job. And they came in and doused everything with water and put all the furniture in the street, and the china got broken and things got soaked, and Mr. and Mrs. Coombs moved into the Franklin Hotel to allow the house to dry out and try to restore it. And she became so emotional about her beautiful home being destroyed that she tragically died of a broken heart 3 weeks after the fire. And Mr. Coombs, because Mrs. Coombs passed on, just couldn't bear it without her, and he too passed on 3 weeks later. And so, unfortunately, the fire, as it turned out, when I started to restore it, I found that the fire really was only a very small part of the house was consumed, and that was the kitchen, around the fireplace in the kitchen, which is the back part of the house. And so that floor and the next floor was only really heavily smoke damaged and charred. But the rest of the house was beautifully intact. And so they sacrificed their lives due to a lost dream, and it was needless because the house could have been cleaned up and fixed very easily.
This property also offers something that the main house does not.
We're in Camellia Gardens. A beautiful bride has tied the knot in this gazebo. And what we've done here is we've taken the 3-carriage house and we've converted that into a beautiful camellia hall. And it has a catering kitchen and wonderful place for meetings. St. Joe has a lot of their board meetings and planning meetings here. Wonderful weddings. And this week we're hosting 17 plein air painters from around the United States who've stayed with us all week and are on their 10th day of painting. And we're having a critique this afternoon in Camellia Hall. Well, we have wonderful wedding receptions here, and as you can see, the bride and groom have a residential environment, not a commercial environment, a beautiful, lovely garden with statuary from Europe, and it's a very, very special way, memorable way to have a wedding and have photo albums filled with wonderful images of the antiques and the beautiful home, and the entire family and wedding party can stay here and enjoy the experience.
And this concludes our tour today of the Coombs House Inn. Thank you so much, Lynn.
Thank you, Anna Maria. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And I'm Anna Maria Cannatella. Thanks for watching.